What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be doing something fun here. We are just going to be depleting this entire Proof of Mastery item shop here. So as you can see, I have farmed up quite a few of these from the new Training in the Clouds story event. So it's been out for almost exactly 3 days. It dropped on the evening of the 9th when part 2 went live, and it is now the evening of the 12th. So for the last 3 days, I've been pretty heavily grinding that stage, which has been amazing for link leveling, which I talked about in my 17 million power level video, because we just reached 17. I imagine we'll be talking about it more in the 18 million power level video, because it'll probably still be live when I hit 18 million, which is going to be in less than a month for sure. But yeah, so I think I calculated it out, and in order to buy everything in this entire shop, I would have needed 3,750 of this Proof of Mastery, if my math was correct there. But yeah, so we have more than enough to get everything. So first we're going to go ahead and flush all of the items out of here, and then there are all of these character exclusive skill orbs, so we're going to take a deeper dive and look at these. And we will go and like attach the ones to the characters that we think are worthwhile to use. So let's go ahead and get started buying everything. So we've got 20 Dragon Stones we're going to be able to add here, which is very helpful because the Training in the Clouds event is so stamina intensive. I am like legitimately probably just not summoning on part 2 of this anniversary at all, in place of so that I can link level on that stage, right? Because the trade-off of like how much I'm like spending stamina on link leveling versus how many links I'm getting is still more worth it than before. Like the amount of stamina spent per amount of like level 10 links achieved is going to be higher as an overall rate on this stage. So it is more worth your like stamina and more worth your stones to grind on this stage. But it, you know, basically just makes it so that you're using stones quicker. You know, it's almost like, okay, let's say you're using stones like 30% quicker, but then you're getting links like 40% quicker, right? If that makes sense. So it is definitely a worthwhile exchange. It just means that the passive free-to-play rate of earning stones is not going to be enough to uphold my stone count the way it normally is. Because previously, I, on average, was spending about maybe 30 stones on stamina per day while link leveling, and now it's looking more closer to like 50, just depending. So yeah, it's quite a lot of stones. So yeah, we'll see. Probably when like the part 2 sales go live and stuff, I'm gonna have to get them and just say literally stockpile stones for link leveling. There is also a lot of content that I still have to get through, so there's going to be a bunch of extra stones. There's like most of the challenge content that released in part 2 I haven't completed yet. We'll come back and do this part last, just because there's so many of those things that we can buy. And then obviously these Z swords, this is kind of a useless thing for me to purchase right here, just because we can buy as many of these as we want with Zenny anyway, so I definitely wouldn't recommend buying any of these. All of the other stuff is pretty worth it, right? Like the stones and Kai's definitely. The Zenny is worth it for me. I am actually very low on Zenny right now. I'm not going to rant too much about going into like diverging into a side topic about that, but it's just because I have been easying a bunch of version Z Gokus, 100 of them to be exact, so that cost 3.5 billion Zenny, and on top of that I've done that with some other units and blah blah. So I'm very low on Hercule statues, so this is going to help a lot. 500k times 500, so this is what, 25 million, or no, 250 million Zenny right here. So that's not bad. That's definitely helpful there. Okay, so there we go. We just sold out the entire shop. There's not a single item left in here that we can buy, and we still have almost 7,000 of these Proof of Masteries. That is just going to continue to go up over time, obviously because of the insane amount of link leveling that we're doing. We are just going to have, you know, thousands and thousands of these by the end of the month when this event goes away. Okay, so we went ahead and bought all the items. Now let's go ahead and jump into the hidden potential, and we will attach those equips to those special characters. So the first unit that we have equips for here is the AGL Blue Vegeta. Let's see. Okay, this guy right here. So yeah, he's got some special equips. Oh man, I have the Ancient Relic equips on him. So they don't do type-specific equips anymore. So it's always a sad moment for me when I replace a type-specific equip. As you can see, I still have some of them sitting in my box that I haven't used, and I usually try not to use them just because they are a relic of the past and you can't really get them anymore. So I want to hang on to them and make sure that they don't disappear, especially because the type-specific ones are almost never EX skill orbs, right? Which means once you attach it to a character, if you ever attach anything else, it's fully gone, which is what's about to happen for these ones on him. But yeah, so a bit of a sad moment there. So I believe all we had was like the 3 dodge for him, right? They've really got to, oh man, it's so annoying. They really have to, it's this one right here. Yeah, perfect. Okay, hold on. I'm going to do this really quick because they are just so bad about this. This is one of the biggest like revamps that we need now that Dokkan 2 is here and stuff. They need to do something with the equipment, right? Not only do we have way too many pieces of equipment that are just so hard to track what you actually have in your box, there's so many low-level ones you're never going to attach to characters and things. It's just a mess, right? It's impossible to sort and filter and figure out like where character exclusive skill orbs are and stuff. It was always my idea that they should just do the little rainbow border things or the sparkle effects over the top of them, the way they used to do for Chain Battle or the way they do for when you summon new like Dokkan Fest and LR cards, right? Those little effects that they put on them, I feel like they could do that to assign some like clarity here so that if there was anything that's category exclusive, it would have blue sparkles on it. Anything that's character exclusive would have red sparkles on it, right? Things like that. So yeah, I don't know. I think that there's definitely a lot that they could do with these, but it is quite annoying. So what I'm going to do really quick, I'm going to pull up a list of all of the equips that we just bought on a website page on the side so I know exactly what we're looking at so that I can make a more informed video here. So one moment. Okay, perfect. So all of the equips that we just earned for him are right here. So we have the level 3 dodge, the level 8 attack, and then the level 8 defense for him. I would say based on the way this character's kit has gone historically, probably the dodge is going to be the best. But not to fear because all of these are going to be EX skill orbs, right? So you don't have to worry about, like, you can always just switch them back and forth. But I think that the dodge is probably going to be the best build for him just because I don't know that, like, the defense is going to be really enough for him. Like, okay. Here's the thing. In his kit, he's got guaranteed additional attacks, but they're additional normals, right? So he's not going to be taking full advantage of like additional supers where he could stack more and more defense and things like that. I really feel like the dodge is going to be the best. I suppose straight up attack could be decent. Because also here's the other thing that I haven't even mentioned yet. They did mention in the part 2 live stream that Super Saiyan or that they were going to be releasing skill orbs for characters who are going to EZA during the celebration. They did say that. And then they released the skill orbs for this guy and the other 2 that we're going to talk about. One of which has already gotten his super EZA here. But because this guy is already EZA'd, we're looking like it's seeming like it's very likely they're going to super EZA him. So post super EZA, we don't really know what he's going to be looking like yet. But just based off of the inherent like theme of his kit, he might be a very, very strong attacker that just isn't super solid defensively, especially like at the starts of the fight, right? Prior to his transformation, prior to his stat buildup. So that's why I think the dodge would probably be the best for him. And then, okay, it looks like for the silver slots, we have a 3 crit, 3 additional. Then we have a 4 additional, 2 defense, and then a 4 crit, 2 defense. So I'm thinking he already has a ton of crit built into his kit. I highly doubt that you're going to need to rely on crit. So I would say probably the additional in defense is the best way to go for that one. And then for the final one, we have crits and additionals, and then it's 3-5 and 5-3, right? So again, we're going to try and lean toward the additional one. Okay, so now we know the 3 equips we want to put on him. Let's go back in game and do that real quick. So we've got our 3 dodge. We'll go ahead and put that. All right, Sayonara AGL equips, no. Okay, and then it was going to be this one. Oh, wait, no, these are not it. It's the ones with the defense on it, not the dodge. Ugh. Yeah, this is just such a problem. I hate that they do this. Look at how bad this is. Like, There's so many EX skill orbs. Usually all I'm using is like the EX symbol to help me dilute like the pool and figure out which unit or which equip specifically is the one I'm looking for. I think it's this right here. And then obviously you can clarify it once you click on it. But like prior to knowing that, like, oh, why don't they just put the character art behind it, right? There's a whole box right here. Just put his face behind this and then put the equips on top of his head, whatever. Then you can actually see behind it and know that it's like, or like a little tiny icon of him in the corner or something. I don't know. There's a lot that they could do to make this better. Okay. So we'll do that. Combo attack. Okay, and then onto the gold orbs. So we're going to have, let's see, crit and additional. I guess we could, hold on, we could do this. Since it's level 5, we want the level 5 combo, right? So we can filter it like this. We'll go combo attack, level 5, and then the crit will be level 3. So is it this one? There we go. Perfect. All right. But again, the only way I was able to do that was because I had the wiki on the side, so I knew exactly the levels of the equip, so I was able to filter for it. Otherwise, you would just be out of luck, right? There should be a button where you could toggle in there. That's actually the perfect thing. Inside the filters, there should be a button in here somewhere with like type rarity level, or what is it? I guess, yeah, they should just add a whole new section here where you could filter by showing only like character exclusive ones or showing only category exclusive ones. You could toggle those as like some additional buttons. Could be interesting. Could be interesting. Okay. So that is it for Vegeta there. He is looking pretty spicy. He is an old unit prior to when I was doing full dodge builds, so he's got a full additional build. It's not even full additional. It's actually like, it's really split up. Actually, the truth would be proud of me. It's kind of a balanced build here. But it's not very dodge heavy. I would like it to be more dodge heavy, but that's okay. If this guy's going to have some insane attack power, then that is good. And the additionals aren't going to hurt here just because having the guaranteed additional normals, all of those normals will proc additional chance for the hidden potential system additional to go off, right? So that could potentially be good. We'll have to wait and see what his potential Super Easy A looks like to know for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and move to our next unit. All right, so the next unit here on the list is going to be the physical Super Saiyan GT Goku. So it looks like, let's see, the pool of equips, yeah, it's exactly the same. Okay, so for this guy, this is one of those ones where it might be a little bit different. Okay, so let's keep in mind this guy has a nuking passive. That is going to be huge, right? So I probably won't end up going with the dodge build for him. I think I might actually go for an attack-based build, because there's no reasonable chance that beyond getting a Super Easy A or anything, he just becomes like a slot 1 unit or something. So yeah, I genuinely, I think I'm probably just going to go with like the level 8 attack here. Yeah, this is the kind of unit where you want to prioritize like the attack and the crit, right? So I'm probably going to go all offense. We'll go full attack. We'll go for the crit and additional here, and then we'll do the primary crit, the 5 crit with the 3 additional. So yeah, let's go ahead and attach those 3 really quick. All right, our boy GT Goku looking mighty fine there. So yeah, this is quite an insane build, right? I've already got a full crit build for him, and then we just added some more crit and additional on there. This is a very solid build. I cannot wait to see what this Super Easy A potentially looks like. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. I do like the equips a lot. I think the equips were decent-ish for Vegeta. I think the way that they have these equips built are very, very good for this GT Goku. This is a nice flow state for his kit for sure. So yeah, he's got some very, very solid ones. Okay, on to the third and final unit before we wrap up and finish the video here. All right, so we have AGL Super Vegito. So obviously he has already gotten his Super Extreme Z Awakening at the start of part 1 of the anniversary here. So the exact same pool of equips for him. Now, you're probably just gonna want to go full crit. Like full attack and crit, everything for him. He really does want the critical hits, because the thing is, like, his counters are going to be hitting a lot harder when you do the critical hits, right? He definitely can service from some additionals as well. Yeah, he's probably not going to want the dodge, though. Just being like a counter unit, usually that's not the kind of thing that they depend on. But then the other thing is, because he's a counter unit, you put him in the way of a bunch of attacks. If he gets hit with a super, you just get KO'd. That's kind of the downside of using these really good counter units that have a bunch of damage reduction on, you know, receiving normal attacks, is that when they get supered, they have like nothing to protect them basically at all. So it's a little bit tricky. I don't even know if these orbs are going to be the best thing to put on him. There might just be better stuff in the hidden potential in general. Like, let's go ahead and switch in the game and see what I have on him right now. I mean, yeah, I just have some like attack and some basic crit stuff. I guess, okay, if we're already going to be going with that same, you know, philosophy, we might as well just up the attack and everything. So yeah, we'll go ahead and attach all the attack and crit equips, all the exact same ones that we just put on GT Goku, and go from there. Alright, so there are the 3 equips I put on him. I actually did switch one of them. For the silver one, I did the crit and defense instead of the crit and additional. So instead of giving me 3 points of crit and 3 points of additional, we now have 4 points of crit and then 2 extra points of defense, which I think is going to be a little bit helpful. Just because, remember, like, damage reduction by itself is pretty good, especially at the rate he has it, all the way up at like 80% and stuff. But the most lethal combination you can get in the game, basically, besides just straight up dodging, is damage reduction with good defense, right? So I think that it's going to be more helpful for us to have those additional points of defense rather than the extra points of like combo attack, since he already has a decent amount of it in his kit. And then remember, for counter-attacking units, if you put them in slot 1, or if they get hit with an AoE, so they're, you know, countering before they attack, every single one of the counters they do also has the chance to proc their hidden potential system additional, so you don't need quite as much additional on them in order for them to be pretty much guaranteed to get that extra additional attack for you, right? A lot of the times you'll see people with like 30 additional on a unit that has a bunch of additional attacks already. You don't want to do that, because they have a really good chance to get that additional even when it's at a much lower number, right? So then you could prioritize, you know, spreading out the build and giving him some other nice abilities as well. Okay, so that is going to be that for Super Vegito. Hopefully he'll be looking just a smidge better for me in battle now that we have these awesome equips on him, and I am very, very excited to see what they do with those you know, potential super easy A's for the other 2 coming up. So we'll have to stay tuned probably for part 3, or maybe even the EX part of the anniversary, to find out what that is going to be looking like. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of these new equips and the Proof of Mastery shop in general. I'm curious to know what your guys' thoughts are on all of that. How has your grinding been going in the Training in the Clouds stage? Let me know how many characters you've been getting finished with your link leveling, if you're joining in on that fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below. That's going to do it for this one, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace!